right, cool. Well, I figured that I would just introduce you a little bit. So for those of you who don't know Patti, Patti is a broker in Arizona, and she recently created a brand new CRM solution for real estate agents. So I thought you'd be able to introduce yourself, tell us why you came up with a CRM and what makes it different from all the other ones out there.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want this necessarily to be a sales pitch, but I am hopeful that you'll see a value. I know many of us came into our real estate business not really knowing how to use CRMs. My entire business has been spent working internet leads, really, since I got my license in '04. And so for the last 17, 16, 18 years, however many years, I can't add it up now, but I have been working strictly in CRMs. And so I got a real passion for automating my business, because how are you going to go out and show 8,000 to 10,000 homes like I did and then sell real estate at the same time while you were working hundreds of leads a month? So that's my entire background, really, has been working internet leads. So one of the, I always tell people, closing the internet lead is the hardest thing you can do. So especially if you are on YouTube, right, and you're collecting leads and names of people, you actually are way farther along than someone who clicks on something that doesn't know you from Adam in a Facebook ad, right? So because they've already connected with you through that. So anyway, so I have been on a journey learning many different tools, and finally this past few years, I have been really focused on trying to find a solution that I can combine as much of our automation into one location, and that works, that's fast, and can house all of my drip campaigns, because that's basically what I've been doing, is helping agents and consulting with them in other systems. And it finally came down to the point where I realized the only way this was really going to work best for me is if I built it for myself. And when I built it for myself, I realized it was a great tool for everybody else. So I rolled out a month ago. And so it's a software actually that I've worked in a partnership with a company that's been in the CRM business for over 15 years. So no, I don't know jack about designing my own software, just so you know. What I was smart about, though, was finding a company that would work with me to build it out for what I like to call the high maintenance real estate professionals, because we aren't out selling teeth whitening kits where somebody's just going to come in and buy something from us tomorrow. We've got to stay in front of them for a long time, right? So for me, it's all about getting the right message out, staying in front of the consumer until they're ready. And then when we can identify who's hot and who's not, we're there to pounce. That's not just about sending out drip campaigns. What are we doing in our systems to identify the hot business? And we can do that in our system. So I'm excited to show it to you, and I will. But really, the reason most of you are here today is to talk about what Karin and I have been very passionate about. If you're going to go out and get people interested in you, especially on YouTube, right? What are we going to do to collect their information, right? So that's really the big key, because we want to be able to start emailing them and calling them and texting them. And if they're just there looking at our videos, they're just going, oh, isn't that nice? And they might say something nice on your YouTube channel, but really, what can we do to get them to sign up for something, right? That's the goal. Lead generation. And if you can do it for free out of your YouTube channel, how exciting is that, right? So, yeah. And
agreed.
And I think
that's terrific.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten leads through YouTube, but when you can automate it better, instead of just people calling you out of the blue or hitting you up on Messenger, it's not the most productive way for us to be doing this, because now you've got these people contacting you from all over the place. And well, through your YouTube channel or through Messenger if you're doing social media on Facebook and that kind of stuff. But you really, the more you can automate this, the better you're going to be. And then you can get flows running and all of that. So I'm here today to talk about the life cycle of a lead magnet and show you a quick and easy way to get it set up. And while we're doing it, I'll give you a little sample of how we're doing it in our system, because we only need our software. We don't need anything else other than our YouTube channels, really. So
And
Yeah.
that's the part that I think is so intriguing to me, Patti, is the fact that it has the landing pages built in. So you make the landing page in your solution, the lead goes into your CRM, and the email automation starts, and it's all in a single place. Because I talk to people all the time that are using like Google Forms as the landing page, and then MailChimp as the email, but they don't have any way to automatically send what the person opted in for. It's a very jerry-rigged system, and yes, it's all free, but it's very labor intensive. So I'm hoping you can show us a live example of how could we create a landing page and then set up the things so that it would all happen automatically while we're sleeping.
Right, and that is exactly it, because you never know when they're going to hit on stuff, and if it's in the middle of the night, are you going to be able to set something up to? So it's all about offering something. So let's actually get started, because I don't know, how long did you want to go today, Karin? I'm available.
Well,
so.
we got started a little bit late, but I figured if it was like a half an hour of demo and then questions and whatnot, and you go ahead and share your screen and show the thing, and I'll just man the chat, okay?
Right, and so what I'd love for you to do too, Karin, is whenever you want to step in and like how this integrates with what you're doing in your YouTube, because we know a lot of people are here for that. You guys have already been doing your YouTube stuff. So how do you integrate? I'm basically now just going to kind of talk to you a little bit about what is a lead magnet, and then about the steps it's going to take. But you can post your landing pages anywhere, right? So let's go ahead and, am I sharing? I don't know, can you see my screen, people? Let me hit share. I just want to make sure I have the right screen up here.
I don't see it yet.
I'm getting there. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
All right, cool. All right, let me start the slideshow so it's a little bit cleaner here. I'm just going to do a little bit of setup here before we get going. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. So that you can kind of have an idea of what it is we're doing and why we're doing it. So first of all, what is a lead magnet exactly? What is it that you're doing? We're going to offer a bribe, basically, to get people to give us their contact information, right? So that's really what it boils down to. It's an irresistible bribe to get them to provide us their email, their phone, whatever it is. So in our world, as real estate professionals, as almost all of us are in here, we have to figure out what can we offer that will make sense to get someone to sign up. Now, the kind of videos that you guys are posting in YouTube, Karin, can you share with me, because I'll be honest and tell you, I'm not doing a ton of real estate these days. So you guys are. Tell me examples of the kind of videos that are getting the most hits, for instance.
I get a lot of hits from my relocation guide that I've offered. I get a lot of hits from the one I did for investors, which is 10 creative ways to come up with a down payment. I just created one that was sellers, how to get your house ready before the photographer comes. These are all the things that you want to have in place so that it will photograph very well. I mean, there's so many different lead magnets you can make. You just have to know who you are speaking to and what would be of value for them, so they'd be willing to give you their contact information in order to get it. Right.
So whether or not it's really related to your video is important, but is it really that important? I don't know, I guess. I mean, if you're going to do a video for sellers, you want to offer something that's going to help a seller. If you're going to do it for buyers, you want to offer something that's going to help a buyer, right? So I think if it comes down to it, that's probably the best thing you can do. So the next screens, I'm going to actually just talk about ideas, okay? Oh, well, first I'm going to talk about the life cycle of a lead magnet so that you know when you you decide what it is you want to offer, and Karin just gave you 3 good or 4 good ideas, right? The first thing you want to do, just like Karin said, is identify your ideal client. So whatever that client you think you're going to get out of that video or your offer, by the way, if you're not doing any videos, first of all, you should be. And I will tell you that many of you are here as a result of me doing videos teaching you how to do this stuff, right? So same thing, you're instilling trust. And when you instill trust, people are going to start to stalk you, which many of you have already started to experience, right? Because you're doing a great job telling them about your world, right? So whoever those stalkers are going to be your ideal client, right? Then you want to create the lead magnet. And whatever that is, ideally, you want to try to add it to your website, because by adding it there, you're going to be able to drive them over there and create Google juice for yourself. So depending on your site, maybe you have a blog, if you're able to pull it in to say you have a, I mean, I personally would like to see you create a page. I'm actually going to give you an example of how I would do it on my site, but I would create a page specific for it that actually has the ability for them to run a search on your site, either for what's my home worth, if it's a seller, or you know, homes for sale. So if you can get them over there and get them to sign up for that stuff too, that'll be huge. So if you don't know how to operate your website, get a hold of your website people and see what you can do about building a page where you can put your lead magnet on it, okay? Then you want to create the form. And that's where I'm going to come into play here with you today. So you have the form that's a leads, which we call landing pages, squeeze pages, opt-in, whatever. So many of you have gone out and using listing to leads. You might be using MailChimp to create these things. You're paying other services, whatever it is. We're going to try to get you to do it all in one spot, because when you do it in other places like the Google Forms, they're going to have to deal with the connection to automate this all, you know, and ideally, you know, if you don't have it built into your technology brain, and many of us don't, and I personally didn't, you know, it's a setup, you know. So figure out where you're going to set up the form, right? And then we want to automate it so that when it's ready to go, everything will happen automatically. So when it comes in, it'll automatically turn on, and well, first it's going to deliver your offer, right? So you get your offer ready, and then you're going to put them into a long-term flow, a drip campaign, basically, to stay in front of them with similar information, content, education, listings, whatever it is, to get them, to keep you top of mind, right? And so when you can automate this whole, process. So now really you want to get your drip campaign set up first before you get all this going, because you need to attach it so the system knows when it comes in. So what does this mean? This means that you're not going to go into, well, to do this right, we have our CRM systems, many of us are in, and I'm not, some of them will remain nameless today, but other than mine, but we go into these CRMs, and the CRMs already have pre-built campaigns, and many of us are just using pre-built campaigns in there. Well, nothing is going to turn your consumer off faster by, number one, not delivering what they signed up to get, and then two, sending them junk. And ideally, your campaign is not just there to get the information out to them. Believe it or not, the campaign is there more for you to identify who you want to work with tomorrow if you have 30 minutes or an hour to do some prospecting, because the system is telling you who has hit on your stuff that you're sending. So we're going to provide links back to our sites so that it will help drive business organically to you. We have a lot of people who have our websites. How many of you, I mean, chime in down below. By the way, if you guys have any questions, I put them in the group down here so we're ready for you, okay, when we get to the question part. But how many of you have websites that you think, why do I bother? Because nobody ever sees it, right? How many of you have those kind of sites? Well, the bottom line to that is that your website needs gas. It needs fuel in the tank. And so what that means is they're not finding you because you're not driving anybody over there and you're not doing anything. So you should be doing it in your YouTube channel videos, sending them over there, everything you can do to get there, because the more hits on it is actually going to create you more Google juice organically. Let me give you an example. For those of you who haven't heard me tell this story, I was buying leads years ago for I live in the Scottsdale area. So years ago, though, I was buying leads for North Phoenix, right? And when I did it for just a year and a half, they were just so-so. They weren't the greatest leads. But, well, they weren't, I should say, they were actually ended up being good leads in the end. I didn't close many of them, but what they did do was they liked to hit on all my stuff. And so I built into my drip campaign to send them back over to my website every few days. This is all built into the flow. So when you know you're offering something, let's just say it's a list of homes, right, for something. You don't want to just send it to them one time because they signed up to get it. You want to keep sending them back there. Let's say you're running a What's My Home Worth thing, and you're doing a video about that subdivision or area, wherever you guys live, that is hot, and you know that you're running this ad, so why not continue to send them back to your site to look at what the activity is that's going on in the community, all the stuff that's selling, so that they know, not just once, but over and over again. And those are the things they care about. Yes, you can automate all this, and you don't, and what happens is if you never speak to them, by the way, average agent closes only about 3 to 5% of their leads if they're online, okay? And the one who doesn't have anything set up is going to be lucky to close 1 out of 100, okay? So we're talking 3 to 5. What are you going to do with the rest of the 95% of them who will hit on all your stuff but never work with you? Well, you're going to let them grow your online organic reach, because they're going to hit on your stuff you're sending, right? And then they're going to help you bring up your yourself. You bring yourself up the ladder of the pages on Google. So the story is, I did this, and I have not been doing leads for 3 years now, or buying leads for 3 years, over 3 years actually, and I got on the first page of Google in 4 months doing this organically with my website and my drip campaign, because I would send the listings out automatically every few days, but I would drive them to my site instead, and they were going straight to the page that I was offering in the ad. So if you're doing an ad for listings in a certain community, I see a lot of you doing community videos, then why not have your drip campaign ready to send them not just once, but over and over again. You set it up one time and you do not lift a finger. The only thing you have to do then is to basically know how to pick up the phone, call them, and then turn off the campaign. That's it, right? Leads never go bad, by the way. They don't go bad until they tell you to get lost. That's the truth of the matter. So you also want to identify your audience traits too. So when you're deciding, and Karen's good at this, as far as how do you, in fact, why don't you pipe in here, Karen, let me know, how do you identify your audience traits and your search terms and things like that, right? Is there tips for that?
I unmuted myself. I am frantically trying to approve people that want to get into the free group to watch your training. So because they did not request to join the group until after we'd already started. So sorry about that. What was your question?
People don't like to hey, you guys, if you like what Karen and I are doing, read the small print, because you're missing out on a lot of stuff. This happens to me all the time, where I'll tell you where to go and you guys don't read it. What we're doing. Anyway, when you got redirected after you signed up, it told you exactly what to do, just so you know.
Anyway,
right.
What was your question?
Well, my question was, when you identify, like, you want to make sure you identify your audience traits. So if you're going to do an ad, or you're going to do, you want people to see it, right? In your case, you're doing tagging, right? So do you have any tips on tagging in a YouTube video, on ways to find your best tags for your audience, your best audience?
So you're talking about tagging a lead in the CRM when it comes
No,
in,
I'm talking
right?
about, first we're talking, I know you came in, but you didn't hear it, but we're talking about audience traits of the people that you would want to see your lead magnet. So before they even signed up, like, let's just say, I knew that I was going to do a video in my subdivision in the Rio Verde foothills in Scottsdale, and I wanted to offer up that list, pre-shoot, what did you, the shoot listing thing that I'm going to show them this in a minute.
The pre-shoot checklist, yeah.
The pre-shoot checklist on the things you should do before you list your home. So if I was going to go identify the best audience traits for those kind of people in Rio Verde where I live, if I was going to tag my video, right, I'd be wanting to tag people that would have an interest in this, right? I don't know.
Right. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about tagging in a YouTube video, but if I did a video for sellers in a specific neighborhood and then I offered a free lead magnet, when they opt in and they go into the CRM, I want them to be tagged with the source of the lead. So they came in from YouTube. They came in because they downloaded the name of this particular lead magnet. They are a seller, and they most likely are interested in this neighborhood. You could have multiple tags with EngageMore, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. I'm still not quite where I wanted to get with you, but that's okay. I'm saying, like, you use a tool to identify the best tags when you're creating your YouTube video. I'm not saying talk about it in your YouTube video, but so that your video gets in front of the right people who might be running a search.
That is a much longer conversation than what you want to have right now.
Right now. But I guess what the point is, you want to identify who your best audience is for your magnet, right? So that's really what it boils down to.
You're not going to, I mean, what you said before, if you're doing a video for buyers, you're not going to offer a seller lead magnet. Your lead magnet that you offer at the end of your video is the next logical step to what you've been talking about. So if your video was about, is winter the best time to sell your house, the lead magnet that you offer is going to be something to do with staging, or should you have your Christmas tree up during showings, and like, how do you make the house look pretty in a dismal time of year, or something along those, it's the next logical step to what you've been talking about in the video.
Correct. So now that you've got all this stuff set up, now you go do your advertising, right? We're not going to go do our ad and then go back and go, oh crap, people are going to my YouTube video. We want to have it ready. So you got to get all this stuff ahead of time set up, being the opt-in and the drip campaign, and make sure you've got your, what are they getting, right? Get it ready. So, and then here's the really cool part, is that all the landing pages that you create should have a way to track the pixels and or Google hits that you get. If you choose to do it, you can then go do retargeting ads on the people, right? And you can put the code. This is a little bit ahead, and we're not going to really go into this today, but think about how you could retarget the people because they actually hit on your landing page or your opt-in, right? Your opt-in form. And you can put code on your form that will track that they hit it. And now when you get enough people that have done that, even if they didn't sign up, you could retarget them either in a Google ad or a Facebook ad, right? Or maybe even YouTube. I don't really know how to do YouTube ads. Someday I'm going to learn that. But so how cool is that? And then, of course, now you get people talking to you because you've got all this flowing, and they're going to start connecting with you pretty quickly because you're sending out stuff that they care about. Because you're going to send out a separate campaign that's specific to your offer. You're not just going to send out some generic junk, right? So let's talk about the value. First, it encourages signups of potential buyers and sellers. It builds a list and a pipeline for you. You get way more serious leads when they're spending time to sign up for something. You're converting as a numbers game. Average closing of leads is 3 to 5%, as I was telling you. And the more leads you have, the more opportunities you have, right? But you get a lot of leads, you better automate what you're doing because you're not going to be able to be in 10 places at once, right? So let's talk about some lead magnet ideas. You can take screenshots. I'll tell you when. 10 questions you must ask before hiring a city. I like to put the city in there, right? So that would be a list that you would create, okay? 3 simple upgrades to skyrocket the value of your home, just kind of examples. How to sell your home in 21 days, right? These could be videos you can do, by the way. Those are just to get them going, and then you would maybe say, come and get your list, your guide. You just get them warmed up. List of homes in a certain price range, all kinds of angles to this, and that when that magnet is basically driving them back to your site to look at the lists, right? Home buyers and sellers guides, which we do a lot of. And if you had one guide that you could duplicate and have it made for different things, you could have it specific to your subdivisions you work or your areas or the kind of houses you do. Maybe you're just a condo seller, whatever. You could take one guide and just add a little blurb at the beginning of the guide that is specific and just change the guide cover, right? If you had a brandable guide, oh, guess what? I have those. What other ideas do we have? 7 questions you must ask during your next home inspection. Free home buyer and seller webinars. The 3 secrets to selling your home fast. Come to the webinar, right? First-time home buyer loan program list. Come up, hook up with a lender. If you don't have anything, have them help you create something that someone would have an interest in getting, right? 5 most important steps to take before you buy and sell a home. You know what you could do? This is a suggestion I got way back in the day. Go and run a search on Google for magazine covers, right? And they're like headlines on magazine covers. Let me see if I have one handy, just out of curiosity. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna, because it's kind of fun. All right, here. This is Success Magazine from eXp Realty. I get this every month or whenever. And so it says, make more money in 2020, right? So, and of course, it's Grant Cardone on here. But Grant Cardone sales and growth, starting from scratch, how to choose your goal. And these are like headlines. You can come up with a headline off the magazine. Just go like Cosmo, unfortunately, good, bad. Plug in stuff, but if you can go and run a search for magazine ad ideas, then you'll see these are all kind of like that, right? Commission rebates. When I first started in the business, this is how I got a lot of business, because our company we were forced to do it. Don't even get me going on that. But email and video series on the steps of the real estate process, talking to actually Karen, one of your people that's here in Arizona, John, yesterday, and he has a video series. We were talking about how to get that running, and so I mean, it was great. So we could put it in the drip campaign. Create a PowerPoint of your video series above, and then save slides as a PDF to create your own book, right? So if you did a video series or even just a PowerPoint, you could create a book that's an ebook out of it by just saving it as an ebook. So which is really fun. Market subdivision, zip code real estate updates, that stuff. Relocation packets and guides, like Karen had. Area school list with ratings, which is good. Just be careful if you're going to send them to another site that has that there's not advertising of other real estate agents there. Just careful. In Arizona, we have this thing called the Arizona Buyer Advisory, which basically is like an 8-9 page document that gives them a whole pile of links of how, things they should know when they buy a home in Arizona. So that is Arizona Association of Realtors document that a lot of people don't know exists. So you could say, hey, did you know we have this? And you get a PDF of it and get it somewhere that they can get, Hook up with vendors such as movers, inspectors, those kind of people, and get a coupon code. So that would be or coupon, right? And a list of homes close to major employers. Like I live in Arizona, we've got a big, huge Amazon distribution center. So, you could get people interested in why they would want to move here. I live in Arizona. Why relocate to Arizona from Amazon in the cold country, so that kind of stuff. And then capturing the lead's contact info is really important. So there's a whole bunch of different ways you can do this here. But you really just want to talk to me because I can help you out with all of that right now. So, and then sharing your magnet with the audience. So not only can you do it on your YouTube channel, but you can do it on Facebook, in Facebook Boosts, Facebook Marketplace, Instagram, Twitter posting. Here's YouTube, Pinterest. I haven't used Pinterest yet. I have any time for that. But yeah, it would be really cool, right? So these are the things you have to really think about. And then conversion is in the follow-up. Quickly create your form and EngageMore. No need for Zapier. Before you start running ads, get your drip campaign ready. And so what you do is you don't have to rewrite a campaign, right? Let's face it, most of us are working with buyers or sellers. So what you're doing is taking a campaign that you really love, that's for buyers and or sellers, you get it all set up, and you copy the thing. You clone the entire thing, and then all you're doing is changing out a couple of things inside of that campaign that delivers the offer, and then continues to deliver things similar to what you think that individual wants. So most of the time that's going to be either market updates or listings, okay, for if they're buyers for the most part, right? So this is where we all fail. I don't want to say we all fail. We just need to be better about sending them what they care about, because when you do that, then they're going to continue to open things, right? And that's what you want. You want them opening things and making sure that you're sending something more specific to what they want, right? Okay, so now what we're going to do, hopefully you can still see it. We're going to go into my brand new CRM. It's called EngageMore CRM, and we rolled out kind of a soft rollout a month ago, and we've had an incredible journey in the last month, and we had a number of people sign up pretty much overnight, because I've got some very faithful followers, and I'm very happy about that. And so thanks to them, they've helped us get all organized as we were trying to get ready for everybody to come in, and so we're excited about it. Karin, have you had a chance, by the way, to get in and look at any and do any of this at all yet? I know you've been kind of busy, but
I've only just scratched the surface, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lisa Kelly, some of you may recognize from the groups. Lisa is in, as she gave me permission, I sent her a note this morning. I call her my poster child because she's so good at all this stuff. So I said, hey, poster child, can you help me out in a good way? So Lisa, as you might know, she's in Karin's group too. When she's doing her everything we're basically telling her to do plus some. And so this is just a really good example of what happens inside of the system. The way we have it all set up, that when she built some landing pages, she also has her YouTube video going out. She's driving people over and over again to a flow that we built in the system already, but she went in and edited it, and it's just a flow that will continue to send over and over again to bring people back. So she's got this flow here that actually, let's click on it really quick. This one flow right here is driving people back to her site every week to look at the latest videos that she does. And it's the same page. Her website has it built, and it's all embedded in there. And I told her today, I said, you know, you really ought to be helping people train with that, because, you know, it's a great thing. But what's cool about what's happening is the way we have set up in here is that when the video, when the people hit on the stuff, then they sign up for something, and she's got landing pages and things, then she's got them in here, and then we can identify the hot business and the people because of what we have, what we call intelligent links. So we can identify who's the hottest people in here. I don't want to click on this. I promised her I wouldn't show any of her leads. But so if you clicked on this, it would create a full list of all the people that have ever clicked on it and on her videos. And then you can also see all the people that are opening. So this was stuff that I built into the system for us, pre-save searches. But it's really great because we can also track all the landing page activity that's going on in here. So if I was to click, she actually only has the one landing page in here, but I could, and you know what, let me look at something. I'm gonna just show you really quick. I'm gonna set up, actually, that's what I'm gonna do. That landing page, I don't know what that one is that she's got there. She's got a few landing pages made, but we can have actual landing page stuff here. I'm going to take you over to a different account so we can show you. But so I just wanted to show her active account, because this is basically what we're hoping for, is that you're going to get stuff running automatically once the leads come into the system, and we're going to show you how to do that. But we also then can track the activity of the consumers so that we're spending time tomorrow. I can come here and click on who's opened all my mail over the last day. I click on this, and there's 22 people in there. Those are hot people. Those are the people I want to spend time trying to call, right? So our goal is to really just focus on the people that are showing interest in what we're doing, and let the rest of the flows do their thing, okay? So I'm going to show you our flows in a little bit more detail here in a minute. So let me go back over here. We're going to go into this account, okay? Now this is today, by the way. I went in, just so you know, if you were part of Karin's group and you are actually getting help with Karin with her awesome, fabulous YouTube training she provides, in her group the other day, she gave us all, because I am part of her group over there, she was so friendly and nice to give us this really cool pre-shoot checklist that we could access inside of, she just shared it within Canva. So I just came into Canva. I'm not going to open it too big because I want to just want to get it big enough so you can see what I did. I went into Canva in here, and you can edit and add in your own information. She gave us this area down here to do this. So this is a lead magnet she gave us as part of her training. Thank you very much, by the way. And then what
My pleasure.
What I decided to do was, well, it's going to be digital. So I went in and I put a live button in here that actually will drive them back over to my website to find out what their home is worth, right? So I'm just going to show you really quick how. So this is just an example of the lead magnet that we're going to use for my sample today. But you can do this with anything you want to do. And how you create most of what we do is created through like a Word document or on something like was built here. And then you will save it, and you would save it as a PDF most likely, and then upload it to your site somehow, right? So I'm not going to go into how to get to all of that, but you certainly want to have a URL. And the reason you don't just want to email it out is because every time they click on things, you get identified, you know that they're looking at it. So ideally, you would also want to email it. So you could, but when they get the digital version, see, I was able to add a link down here, and then I could go here, and this actually is the page that it goes back to on my website, okay? So you can add, but the only way you can actually make this work is by saving it as a PDF. So you always want your lead magnets when you're doing downloads like this to be a PDF, all right? Your other thing for a lead magnet then would be lists of homes, which you should go on your website. Let me actually really quick go over to my website really quick, because we have to have our lead magnet ready, right? So I'm going to go to my EXP site really quick because I built a page specific for something. So you want to have a page built specifically for what your offer is. So here's an example. This is really, really, really simple, what I did in my KV Core website with EXP. But I basically built this dumb little page. I mean, it's really stupid. Part of the problem, no offense, KV Core, but I couldn't put tags on a search page. So I had to build a page that I ended up linking to a search result page. But I wanted them to get to here, really. But this page in the back that you can't see when I built it has tags and things on it, right? So now this is the page that I'm going to want to send people back to. But if you can't do it, you just go out to the front end of your website and you run a search for your offer, and then you're going to grab the URL. Okay, we have to have this before we can start the landing page process, because we got to know where are we going to send them. What is our lead offer? What's our offer? So we're here, and I'm going to grab the URL because in most cases, your search results, like this particular one, is going to create its own URL up here, right? So this would be the other way to do it, is just go to the front end of your site and do it. You're not going to get as much Google juice out of doing this, just so you know, but you could do it this way. All right, now we're over here. What I'm doing, though, is I'm really focusing on trying to get that landing page done for the list, the pre-shoot list that we have that Karin so kindly gave us. I've already saved it, and it's on my desktop. But so what we're going to do is we're going to come in to our software here, because we have the landing page stuff ready for you already. So when you come into the system, you'll go down to landing pages. And we've already provided you a number of different landing pages in here that are pre-built for these items. And what we suggest you do is you simply just take one of these and you clone it. And then when you clone it, you can work off of any of them. So depending on what your offer is, if it's a simple download, you might just take one that's the download, because this would be like a download offer. Then I would use that one maybe as the base that I would start with, because you're not going to start from scratch. There's no reason for you to. You're just going to come in here and edit one that we have very simply. By the way, just so you know, we've got all of these in here. And notice that we also have your open house questionnaire. I'll just click on this. So this is a side note, but like you don't need all that other software. Just open up your phone or your pad or your laptop when people walk in, have them fill this puppy out. It'll automatically dump in here, and we will automate the follow-up campaign for it. So just so you know. All right, so I have, oh, the other thing to know while I'm in here, we have video, emailing, and so that's what these are. These are landing pages, though, for video, but we also have video emailing tools in here. We have holiday videos that are already built for you. So what's our next holiday? It is going to be St. Patrick's Day. This is a link that we put into a pre-built email template. You're not going to probably be able to hear it, I don't think, but these are all built for 11 holidays throughout the year. So this URL, it's buried, so you don't see it. You don't see, it's not going to YouTube, it's not going, it's just buried in here. We have these all built for you already, but the templates for the emails are also built. So when they get the email, they just click on it and come here. So these are actually landing pages that we're driving them to, so that, and we've got all these holidays, and you can build more in here, add more. And then we've got more of create your own stuff. But what I want to do is show you the one that I created for the pre-shoot checklist today, and I hope the heck it's going to work. Oh no, where'd it go? Did I not save it? Oh my gosh, I worked on it this morning and then I didn't even save the stupid thing. I think I had.
No, that's awful.
I know. Wait a minute. You know what? Wait a minute. I take that back. I think, oh wait, I'm in Lisa's account. Now, what, am I in Lisa's account? Oh, that's why. Oh, shoot.
Okay, phew.
Holy crap. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I have to stop sharing so I can get into the right account. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm like, what? Should have got out of there first. Let me see. There's just too much going on with our software issues this morning. I'm trying to stop sharing. Hold on a minute. Give me a second, kids. Stop share. There we go. No eating on the job, girl. Is there anything you want to add while I'm trying to get this other one set up here?
Oh man, I just stuck a big mouthful of almonds in my mouth and you busted me. There were some questions that were coming in. I could stall and we could answer some questions.
Why don't we answer that while I'm pulling it up?
All right, so Jennifer Camp said, so we should have an independent website and an email drip campaign. Is that what you're saying? They fill out the website, fill out the form, it goes into the campaign. I think she just wanted clarification of yes. You have your own website
right.
with a landing page. They fill it out. They automatically go into the CRM. They get the free thing that you offered, and then it would start a follow-up email campaign or text campaign or combination of both.
Exactly.
Right?
All of it. All of it.
Okay,
and
cool.
You're only setting it up one time. So once it's set up, you're pretty much good to go, really. You know, you don't need to really set it up again, right? So
right.
It should be fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Jeffrey Thompson said, where's the best place to link to the magnet in your YouTube video? So until you get to 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers, you have to link to it in the description box below your video. So I just say, hey, if you want my free thing, click the link down below. And then they go to the box below the video and the link is right there. Once you hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, you can have the card appear on the screen, which is clickable on the video. There's really no benefit to that except that they can tap on it and open it when they're on mobile, but it's not a big deal. It's nice to be able to do that, but don't stress about it until you hit that magic threshold, which takes a long time to get there. Just put the link in the description box below.
Let me ask you though, Karen, about that. Would you recommend that you tell them at the beginning of the video that because I've had this come up a few times, that what if somebody doesn't make it to the end of the video and they don't scroll down, they don't see, and you're making the offer at the end of the video? I'm suggesting they say it at the beginning and or put a intro that says, don't forget your download, you know? Yes? Do you think that's a good idea at the beginning?
I'm thinking it should be somewhere in the middle. My thought was before, put it at the end to encourage them to watch all the way to the end. But as you just said, a lot of people don't watch all the way to the end, so then they end up missing it. But if you put it right at the beginning, then they're gonna leave. And so they start to watch your video. And if you immediately have them leave the platform, that's going to tell the YouTube algorithm that nobody likes your content because they promptly leave the platform, and we don't want that either. So maybe we mention it somewhere like 2/3 of the way through. And if they're reading the description box, they're going to see that link. They can click on it anytime they want. But I'm thinking that maybe not right at the beginning and not right at the very end, but somewhere in the second half of the video might be the best idea.
Yeah, so maybe you drop a little hint at the beginning so that you get them interested in wanting to stick around, so they don't dump out in a minute and then miss even that offer in the middle. Yeah, that's a good idea.
You tease them with hey, I'm going to have a free thing. Yeah, tease them with, I'm going to have a free thing for you, and get them to stick around watching it, but maybe not have it be in the last 30 seconds of the video.
Exactly. Okay, well, that makes sense.
Okay.
Any other questions right now?
Somebody wanted to know if it would integrate with Keller Williams Command.
It does Command. Well, we can integrate with anything. So, for instance, KV Core. But I will say this, if you need, like, if they have a Zap somehow, you have a plugin on your website that is already connected with Zapier. What happens when it comes, I'll show you, when it comes into, I'll actually show it to you. But so if you have a Zap, it's a no-brainer. If you got a weird one-off, I don't know, because I don't know anything about Command, to be honest with you. Command, isn't that their new CRM? So I don't know why integrating with another CRM, you can pass the leads out. If you can get them out of there, we can email Parson as well if we have to do that. So we have options, just depends on the way you do it. And then what happens in our system is it all comes in through a webhook trigger. It's really, really simple, because once your flow is set up, you have the trigger, and we show you quickly how to connect it. But I'll show you how to do that. We can integrate with just about everything. Yeah, that would
be my comment as well, is that it's another CRM, so why would you use two? Like, pick one and use one. There's no reason to have two different CRMs that do the same thing. Just pick one.
Well, and that's exactly it. Your whole goal, because I mean, from what I hear, I don't know enough about Command, but it's kind of in the early stages yet, and not really as robust.
It's in the very early stages. It doesn't have nearly the amount of features that EngageMore has, quite frankly. I was looking, I was at the Keller Williams conference the last week, and they had lots going on about Command, and when it's totally done, it's going to be awesome, but it's not there yet. Right. Another one said, do you suggest placing content on my website or on the company's website? Hear me and hear me well. You need it on your own website. Absolutely, hands down, no buts about it. If you put everything on the company's website and you change brokerages, and no one ever thinks that they're going to leave, but come on, everybody, whoever has stayed with the same brokerage their entire career, it doesn't happen. If you leave, you lose everything that you've been working so hard to build. You are doing all of your SEO for somebody else's website, and then when you leave, you have nothing to show for it, and you start from scratch. If you have your own website and you change brokerages, you do nothing except change the logo on your website. I vouch for your own website all day, every day.
Right, and on that same note, I mean, in the event right now, if you don't have the funds or whatever, start on your own site, but as soon as you make your first dollar that you can actually really get in there, you want a site that you can stick in your pocket. And trust me, I walked away from 5,000 leads. You do not want to be, and what did I do to help grow that? I don't even want to know, right? You live and learn. And here's the thing. You think you're going to stay with your company, but you might just get the most amazing offer. It won't have anything to do with your company being good or bad. You just couldn't, you got an offer you couldn't refuse, so you left, right? And now you're dealing with, oh my God, all you're doing now is just changing the logo. Is that in, your contact?
Agreed. So, okay, cool. Why don't you resume, and then I'll take more questions as they come in.
Cool. All right. I knew I had done this. I had kind of a bad morning, you guys, just so you know. My husband's dad died over the weekend, and then this morning while I was on a training in my group, I got word that one of my closest uncles passed away right in the middle of the training. And so I knew I had done this, but my head was over there. Okay. So what we did was we went in and we created a landing page in here specific to the pre-shoot download, right? And so I basically took one of the landing pages down in here that I had, and I copied it, and then I came in, and I'm not going to go into a whole lot of technical, it's not even technical. I basically came in here and said, all right, now I've got this form that was here for something else, and it was actually to offer up a list of homes or something. So I already had it because it's built in here for you, right? And all I did was copy it. And so now I'm looking at, all right, what do I want to do? Let me just show you what it looks like now that I've created it. This is inside of our system. Okay, so that's how it's going to look after you do the edits, but it's very, very simple. All I did was, first I went into the form and decided, what do I want to be sure I ask? So that's a whole nother discussion, because if you're going to ask, like, do you want a home value? Well, obviously you got to ask what their address is and that. But if you're just going to offer up a simple guide or a download, and you start asking everything under the sun from this person, you're probably going to have them bounce right off your page really quick. So at the very minimum, you want to get their first name and an email address, because at least you've got a way to get in to them, right? Whether or not you decide to add in the phone number and all of that is totally up to you. But on something like what we're going to do with Karin's offer, you're not going to ask for being mandatory. So what we did is we made it optional. And if you look at it, the optional is actually, I tricked them. I said, would you like the list text to you? And so that way, they'll put their phone number in here, hopefully their mobile one, because they're smart, and then they'll check the box saying, yes, I want it text to me, right? And now we've captured all of their information by doing that, okay? So we have to first decide, what do we want to ask? So that's really important, and that's really just based on what your offer is. Then in the actions area, on the back end of the page, I'm going to go back and show you how to edit the form here really quick. It's going to be so easy. But on the back end, now I can say, what else do I want this thing to do for me? I want to assign a status. And we could talk all day about statuses, and I do all that training, by the way. Down in this little box, if I want to type in the word status, we can run a search for how do I set up my statuses? How do I set up my flags? These are a lot of the questions I get all the time. Just so you guys know, there are over 100 some videos I have recorded in here since December. And so these are the freshest of fresh, and they're short and sweet. And if you clicked on, like, how do I set up flags and what do I use them for? There's video here, right? And I'll take you up into the area up here too, but you can watch, and it opens up into the big screen, and it's Patti telling you, you like what I'm saying to you now? This is what you're getting inside of here. This is 100,000% different. So I saw some people say, what's the difference between this CRM and Brevity and Lion Desk? And first of all, you're getting me. It's part of it. And I'm here training you on how to be a good salesperson in your software. It's not like, how do you do something in the software? So if you said to me, Patti, how do I go and set up the tags? I'm going to say, all right, you go over here and you set up the tags, but here are the tags, and here's why I suggest you do these tags, okay? Because I get that question a lot. How do I work my tags? So just so you know, we have all the training built in here while we're talking about it. So the sources you would add, I went in ahead of time and added in this source because I want to track where's all my business going. I added in a flag that just told me that I turned the flow on. So when it starts to run, it's automatically going to sign all that. I went in here, and there's some other stuff you can tell it to do based on duplicates, but I also went in and said, I want to email me. This is one of my old email addresses, my previous name, but you can also tell 3 other people in this point, if you wanted to, that you got a new lead, right? And then I already went in and I preset the campaign for this flow, right? And so actually I did this earlier today. So I'm going to go in here and see, these are all my seller campaigns. I cloned my favorite seller one, and I went in and I edited and added a couple new emails in. That's all I did, and a text. And so I'm going to assign that flow to it, okay? And I'm going to apply those changes. This is all happening as I'm setting up the landing page, right? Obviously, you got to take a few steps to get your sources set up and those kind of things, and obviously your flow. But I mean, it's easy. You're just cloning one, right? And you're adding a few more things to it. That's it. Now I went in and I created a thank you landing page. Now your choices at this point, you can either send them to display a thank you. Now, what I did in this case, this is a link that's actually to a download that I added to one of the leads in here. It's a document that was here, and I had a URL, so I just went in and added it here. It's just a hyperlink to this. But you don't have to send them here after they sign up. You could send them to a web page if you want to, and this could be your website where you've housed your download or whatever it is you're providing it. So maybe it's a list of properties at this point. You can actually put the URL in here where you want to send them, okay? And then, or you can send them to another landing page. So like Lisa Kelly, she went in and she built a video landing page that was had a URL, and it was a thank you. She went and did a bunch of 4 or 5 recordings to thank you for signing up to get the list or whatever. So when they signed up, it redirected to another landing page with her beautiful face on there telling them, thank you, I'm Lisa, if you need this, if you need that. Oh my God, it's absolutely amazing, amazing. So that's why she's getting a lot of hits too, because they're already connecting with her, right? So you have these choices, right? You also have advanced options in here of a couple of things, what happens if you want to prevent spam from happening, but you also have analytics here that are going to happen. So I'm going to talk about the analytics in a minute. But before we do, I want to just show you quickly how you can edit this. So when the form came in, this was actually offering a list of properties. So instead, what we did is I went in and I changed it, the name of it, so that when it gets shared, it's going to look like this, right? And so you can just click on here, and I edited this main heading, and that's how it looked. You can change the colors, you can put other video, you can put other images in, you could do all kinds of stuff at this point. And I basically just went down this whole area, and here's the text for the footer, ready for my tips, that's what changed. I can change the color of the button. The header background, which is what's this white area, that's that. The logo, which is here, I just left that. And you can add your own logo in. And the background image, that's what we're seeing back here. And this is where you can do all kinds of things back here. You don't even have to put an image. I've got some images that are just solid colors. So you can do that. And then the button background color, if I wanted to change that to blue, I could change it to blue. I'm all for doing a different color, one that stands out. But see how, the other thing is, see how fast this thing is? For those of us using other systems slower than molasses, this thing's nice and fast. Okay, cool. So now I'm done editing it, and
May I ask you a quick question, Patti?
Yes.
Can I ask you a quick question? So somebody said, I'm confused. Is this landing page appearing on your website, or is this a standalone landing page?
So right now it's standalone the way it is. You could grab, if you wanted to, coding. It's a little hard to do. I would say it would take a little bit of work to grab the code and stick it somewhere, but you could take a link and put it on your website though, and say sign up to get your free list of whatever, and you put a link on your site and they click on it and then they come here, okay? So this is not your website, but you can put this stuff on your website. You can put this stuff anywhere, because what happens is it creates a URL right here. It's not pretty, but nobody needs to see this, because you can hyperlink it on your website. You can hyperlink it into an email. You can post it out. You can, like I asked Karen this morning, you used Rebrandly as a link shortener, or Bitly. Bitly's kind of sketchy. That's why I was impressed with this, because I didn't know this existed. Shorten the link up and make it pretty, right? So then you can, you just put a link shortener in it, and it will look nice wherever you post it, right? And so now,
what I think is really cool is that you don't have to have a website. For those of you that do not have a website outside of what your brokerage gives you,
right,
use this, make the landing pages with this. Someday you can get your own website, but in the meantime, this is enough. These are landing pages that you can make look really pretty. You'll start getting traffic. You'll start getting leads. They'll go into your CRM. You'll start converting them and closing deals. Later, if you want to get another website, cool. But this is a landing page solution that's all encompassing, and you don't have to have a separate website if you don't feel like it.
Right. It's exactly it. So I'm going to put in some test stuff for you. And then I'm just going to go, yeah, I want to text. So yes, I'm ready for my tips, right? Then in this case, actually, I hadn't set it up on where it was going to go, but here is how it's going to look. So I didn't actually tell. I think I must have send it to a video. So here's what's really great is you can drive them back over to your YouTube channel if you wanted to. You wouldn't have to necessarily send them to a hidden page here, but you could have a thank you. The thank you I had originally, which you saw, I actually, because I changed it, the action or the thank you page. See how I sent it to another landing page? I sent it over to there, but I could have sent it here, and that's where it could have gone, right? So you just have so many options to do what you want to do with it. You just can. So and I think, you know, it's just amazing. All right, so now that I did it, right, now I'm going to go. I just signed up like I was somebody new, and I'm going to go over here and look at all my new contacts that came in. So I did one this morning because I was testing it, and look, I got 2 in here. This is the new one that says Patti testing again, right? And when I come in here, this is a brand new lead that just came into the system, right? And their email, their phone numbers here, and my drip campaign started, my flow. And this flow that I set up has 44 steps of 50 things in it. So I'm going to go show you the flow here in a minute. But this is set up to go out for a year, and it's on, and it's already running. Okay, so let's go over and take a look at the flow really quick and just see what your options are when you come into this system. When you come, okay, so the other difference here, you guys, is not only do you have this amazingly powerful CRM that I chose because I knew it's what we needed, and I built all of this stuff for you in here. This is content driven. This isn't send out crap driven, okay? This is get yourself organized and automated fast. So I have this folder here. Mine's gonna look a little different because I've been in here messing around, but for the most part, you have this folder here that's full of stuff. There's 2 levels if you're interested in coming in. One is, this is the higher level. It has everything in it, and it has all of the templates that I have been selling, by the way, for years. And people would go to my site and buy them over there. You don't have to buy them. They're all in here. And so let me just open up one just so you can see what they look like inside. All of our letters, some are short, some are long, depending on what we're going for. But every single one of them has these links and these things, and this is what's tracking out at the home page that I showed you in Lisa's account. When people are clicking on this stuff, and it's pre-built for you already, so you don't have to come in and do anything except maybe the edits you want to do on the offer. We got to get your offer out. It's always about getting that, and I show you how to do this. So you come in and we can easily edit all this stuff. If you are a KV Core user, some of this might look a little similar because it's the same software that they put in here, and it's really great. You can just come in here and actually drag in text. You can drag in images. It's all draggable. You can add more buttons. You can add pretty dividers. You can add in your social media links. You can add HTML code, and guess what? You can put your video in here and drive them over to YouTube and look at whatever you want. And then you can add more rows, and there's all kinds of cool stuff here, right? So what's nice is that you don't have to do anything to these if you don't want, but you could come in, and I've been telling people, if you're doing a lot of video and just go into a template, like every 3rd template, and add your video into it. And you can just put, hey, here's some helpful tip, you know, and whatever it is, because I've been watching what you guys are doing. I'm in the group. I see it. You're doing a lot of really awesome stuff. Drive them over there, you know. So you got your drip campaigns already done. So I'm going to exit without saving, so I'm going to screw up that email. But these things down here, the intelligent links too, you can also add. So I could come in and say, all right, I have a link that's a button that's going to drive them over to my website. By the way, it's pre-built to do this because it's pulling in from your profile. And then I can say, you know what, when they click on that, I want to turn on a separate flow. I want to send them something else, right? So I might go, oh, I want to send them to, I don't know, let's just pick something, a guide offer. Just hit save, right? Now, what it's doing is it's going to send them to a different drip campaign if I want them to. But what I have set up in here is what I call click flow notifications. So instead, what I do is I come in and I say, all right, I want to know when somebody clicks. So you can set up all the intelligent links you want here, and you can see I've got the guide. They are interested in horse properties because I might have had a link for that. The video link, right? The website link. So I want to know when they're clicking on stuff. So let's say there was a video in here and I wanted to track that they clicked on it. I'm going to hit save. And now, I can, as many links as I have in my email, which we don't want to go too link crazy for spam reasons, just so you know. But as many links as I have in the system, you know, I could set up an intelligent link for this. And then out at the main, out here, it will identify all of these searches that I have set up already, but you can set up all of the searches you want. You see how that's connected to that intelligent link, and I can just go, show me everyone. This was just a sample, so I don't have anybody, but show me everybody who hit on that, and it would pull a list here, okay? So this is what's really, really important, because our flows are built to not just send out drip campaigns, but they're here to really focus on, you know, how do we know who's hot and who's not, right? So I'm going to pull up this one. I have one for, oh wait, let me go back to I want to go back to the campaign I built for the thing today, right?
So Patti, we're right at an hour, so we're going to have to wrap it up. Do you want to finish this thought, and then we could, like, anybody that still has questions, you could answer in the chat?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay.
So just real quick, this is the flow that's connected with that. And we just went in and we copied my favorite seller campaign, and I replaced two things in here. The email that went out, and it provided them back a button to get back to the list again, and the text that goes out. And so here, I can show you the text really quick. So we just went in and say, thanks for requesting whatever I called it this morning while I was teaching it. So you can call it whatever you want. This is not the way this link's supposed to look. I just slapped it in here. You would want to put your short link in here, okay? So, but it's set up to go out, right? And then it not only is it doing that, but it's doing all of these things. And at the end of it, at a year, because they're set up to go to, there's about 30 some things for us Keller Williams people who want the 30 by, what is it you guys do all the time? 30 touch something, 33 touch. So I made sure I had at least 30 things in here just for you fine folks. But so this is all the stuff I've been selling that works well across the country. So you're not having to build this, right? Okay. So this is the whole thing. And so now what you're doing is you're tracking all the activities. So they signed up. It was all built in here. I had no need for Zapier. It automatically dumped it in. It turned on the campaign. It sent what they wanted. And literally, you could probably, once you get rolling, get this set up. And for me, I could do it in 15 minutes. For you, maybe when you're first getting started, you know, it might take you a little longer. But once you figure out what you're doing, you could probably do it in less than 30 minutes, if not less, you know, depending on how fast you grasp this stuff. Okay. So, yeah, so that's pretty much that. All right. So do we want to talk, how do you want to go about this now? You want to talk about what?
Yeah,
talk
why
about
don't
your program first?
People...
Okay.
No. This was for you. Why don't you talk about how you can, anybody can sign up for this program if they want to do it.
Right. So because I love you guys in Karen's group, I have a special offer for you today, and we are obviously trying to grow this. And the more that you get in and make it work for you, the more you'll go out and share it. By the way, we do have affiliate program that's really great, which we're going to share Karen's affiliate link here in a minute. And we're also giving you a coupon too. Yay! So make money if it works for you. But in the meantime, let's talk about really quick, okay, what's it going to cost me? So I just want to really quick make sure that you guys get a grasp on what you're doing currently. What are you doing currently? You're spending money on all kinds of stuff, right? And so the bad part is that we don't really think for a minute about spending this kind of money to go out and buy leads or have a website and go out and spend this much a year on farming and all of these things and various other marketing costs that we're doing. And then the time we're taking to sit open houses, because by the way, this isn't just for landing pages. This thing can do everything you want it to do to automate your business and stay in front of your people, because we've built it. The difference of our system is the content and the training. You know, you're in your current CRM. How many, I know this because I train agents all over the country on their CRMs and many different ones, by the way. And you guys know me from other CRM, a well-known one, which I am no longer associated with because the various, they don't, obviously. So, but bottom line is, you're going to go out and you're going to spend $15,000 to $20,000 a year to generate leads. I know this to be true for me because this is that time of year, right? We're starting to really focus on it when we're doing our taxes. But the part that gets me most is that most of us will say, where's the cheapest CRM I can find? And that's not productive because what do we know? The money is not in lead generation, you guys. It's in the follow-up, right? And if you're doing YouTube, you're doing great. Imagine if you had a system in place that could capture all this and you could just take this link and stick it in your YouTube channels and get people to sign up for free. And you're not having to go out and buy all this other software that we had up there for collecting all this stuff, the landing page software and all that. You don't have to do that. And if I could do this and help you, I call it 12X, help you close one extra deal a month out of your database, what would that do for your business all year long? So you know what your average commission is, right? Even if you didn't go out and spend one more red cent, or maybe you spend less than you're doing and work your database better, hello. So for all of you that are getting free CRMs, or you're spending only $25, or you're gonna complain about spending some money on a CRM beyond what you're doing now, if it's not converting for you, then is it really getting you increased return of investment? That's what I want to make sure. So if we can do this all, and then your training, by the way, this is what I'm going to show you. Inside there, you have more options in here to get all this training. You go into this big room in the back, and you just come in and click on these, and I get you started, and I want to get you started in a jump start right away. So you'll get in and re-engage old leads. Everyone who's come into our system has gone through Jumpstart, and within a day, they've already got new clients out of their current database because they haven't done anything with them. And we have better campaigns to get people opening. So we have all the campaigns and the landing pages, as you saw, right? And the matching stuff with better and faster CRM tool that's actually built with our business in mind, because it's me, a real estate agent, working this, closing hundreds of my own deals and helping thousands of agents across the country now close thousands of deals. And these testimonials are literally just over the last few weeks. They're coming in, and I love the fact that they're actually getting immediate, instant results. We're not screwing around over here. We're trying to help you close more deals. It just doesn't make sense for you to go out and spend all this time and energy and money to lead generate and not have something in place that's going to get you immediate business. There's faster business, because I don't know hopefully you can make a call and close these things. There's only so much we can do, but I got a hell of a lot set up for you, okay? All right, so the website cost, just so you know, it's $99 a month. If you chop out all that other software and all the other junk that you've been spending money on that's not really producing for you, or you're not using it, we have it set up in here for you. This is the website cost, okay? So $99 includes all of these campaigns, and $69 has a little bit smaller version of what's included in case you don't want all the stuff. If you pay the entire year, you get 2 months off of either one of the levels. And today we're going to offer a special even beyond this for Karen's group, okay? You're going to get 10% off if you sign up, and it's only for the 99 level. And the reason I'm saying that is because you honestly, if you don't take advantage of this and you end up doing the 69, you're losing out on a whole bunch of content, because you're going to get a massive deal right here, and you're going to get 10% off. Even if you pay the whole year, you're going to get 10% off now. You're going to get 2 months off plus 10% off, right? So you want to use the code. Now, Karen, can you post your link? You want to use Karen's link to sign up too. And I just
posted it in the comments.
Look at you. Look at you. Okay, so you want to use
I'm
Karen.
the moderator.
Put the code in there too.
I don't have to be on camera. I can be typing in the comments.
I know, isn't that nice? Yeah, I know what it's like. So here's what I want to tell you about this deal, though, because it is a really smoking amazing deal. We're only offering it to the end of the month, and there's only 100 coupons. So we had 180 people sign up for this. So I don't know when they're all going to see it. Not everyone got in today, but so just know that this is the deal of a lifetime right now, because you will get in, and it's amazing. So I would definitely be in here. So you're going to say, Patti, why don't I get a free trial? Why do you think you don't get a free trial? I sell this content.
Because nobody does it. They don't, if it's free, they don't do it. And then the 30 days goes by, and then you have you never even tested it. So how do you know if it works or not? Can I tell you how many free trials I've done where I didn't do one damn thing?
We're realtors. We do that. We like to sign up for stuff. So that is one of the main reasons we don't do it. And I will tell you, we had people sign up last month. They paid. They paid and then they quit because and I went in to see what they didn't do anything. So I don't want you to come in here if you're seriously not going to do stuff. Don't bother. I mean, but I also just can't give this stuff away because I do charge on the outside of this for people still buy my campaigns to put in other CRMs, but you got to manually add them in. I don't know why you'd want to do that for this price. That would be crazy. You got everything set up. I do offer a money back guarantee though. If you go in and do Jumpstart and you show me that you did every step of the way and you weren't getting any response, then I'll be happy to give your money back. You know why? Because I'm 100% sure if you bring in at least 100 leads like I'm going to teach you that are old and stale that need to be re-engaged, you're going to get a response. Now, if they tell you to go jump in the lake, that's your leads problem. That's you and your leads problem. It's not mine. But I'm just saying, I'm giving you every step you need to get set up fast. This is the difference. And you're going to get me training you in there like this, right? So that was another class I did, so we're going to pass that up. But all right, so we get Karen's deal. And Karen, you had an offer for people that are new in the group, right? For your
Well,
stuff.
I did. So yeah, my training is called YouTube for Agents. And for anybody that's in the big YouTube for Real Estate Agents Facebook group that is not a member of my coaching program, I teach you everything that I have done to make my YouTube channel successful. How to figure out what your target audience is, how to decide what to make videos about, how to film them, how to edit them, how to promote them, how to stay consistent, what to say in the videos, how do you act in the videos to make people pick up the phone and call you. And when I go into this deep dive training with my students, I can just give you a bazillion testimonials, of many of whom are in this group right now, getting lead after lead after lead after lead from their YouTube channel. I have a client in Iowa who's got a $1.2 million buyer under contract right now that came in from her YouTube channel. So my training program is a one-time flat fee of $997. You will have lifetime access to all of the training. And if you sign up by the end of February, you will get $100 off. And the code that I chose for you was EngageMore. So if you want to find out more about that, just go to youtubeforagents.com/enroll. I guess I should put that in the comments too. youtubeforagents.com/enroll. Use the code EngageMore. If you don't want to pay for it in one flat fee, you can parse it out over 6 months if you need to, but you will get $100 off the total by using EngageMore as the coupon code.
Right. And so I think, you know, you just have to realize where are you spending your money now and what kind of results you're getting. And our goal is to get you better results for less money. And in the end, it ends up being less money because you're not spending it on all the other crap, right? YouTube, once you learn it, and I bought her course, I've gone through 90% of it. And I did it for my consulting business. I'm not going to lie, I did. So, because I learned so much from it. So I just don't, our goal, you guys, we're not the most techiest people in the world. We're not going to lie. We didn't get on this video today until the last seconds. We were having technical issues, but we are very passionate, the both of us, about what we're doing. And we do 100% believe that if you get this all set up and running smoothly, and we have testimonials in both of our groups that this is working, just, you know, what are you waiting for?